Welcome to a special episode of Be Less Stupid. I'm your host, John Hotchkiss. Last night, Tucker Carlson did a segment on his program that had me furious. Well, here's my response.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Sometimes a news event occurs, a story unfolds that is fascinating in its details, but also crystallizes something that's happening in a lot of places across the country.
So, a news event occurs and a story unfolds. Fascinating in its details, and it crystallizes something that's happening in a lot of places. Let's see. This could be the story about COVID deaths. On the other hand, I suppose it could also be a story about YouTubers and TikTokers having house parties despite the lockdowns.
We want to spend a few minutes opening tonight telling you about what happened over the weekend in Compton in Los Angeles, California. 2 police officers were shot Saturday evening at 7 p.m.
Holy fuck. First, that is awful. Horrific. Full stop. Whoever ambushed 2 Los Angeles police officers should be found, indicted, convicted, and punished to the fullest extent of the law. Again, full stop. Only, here's the thing. Just like 10 seconds ago, though, Tucker said that the ambushing of the police was happening in a lot of places, that the details are fascinating, and that it crystallizes something. You see, Tucker's facts do not hold up under scrutiny. Cops are not being shot all over. I repeat, cops are not being shot all over. In fact, in 2019, 48 police officers were killed in the line of duty. And just to be clear, that's 48 too many. Also, the 48 murders happened in just 19 states. That means in 31 U.S. states, there were no police officers killed while on duty. And so while it is obviously terrible, it is not, in fact, happening all over.
What you're going to see here are 2 deputies sitting in their patrol vehicle at the Compton PAC station, the metro station. They're minding their own business, and you're going to see a suspect stalk his way up to the vehicle. He walks right up to that vehicle, pulls a gun out, and just straight up ambushes these 2 deputies, firing multiple gunshots through the window.
Yup, that is horrific. I don't speak for liberals or Democrats, but I do speak for myself. And it doesn't matter which political party you are affiliated with. No thoughtful, empathetic, patriotic, or reasonable person supports the ambush attack on police officers. No one. If you know people who say that they support the murder of police officers, you must immediately disassociate yourself from those people.
An all-out manhunt for this shooter. The sheriff himself tells me they've brought in the A-team, 14 homicide detectives, the FBI is involved, as well as the U.S. Marshals, but as of right now, speaking to you, no suspects identified just yet, nobody in custody just yet. Tucker?
Okay, so what do we know? We know that law enforcement is looking for the suspect. They're flooding the streets with cops to find this depraved son of a bitch. And the other thing we know is that the only details that we have about the shooter is that he wore what appears to be sweatpants and a hoodie. What you're seeing is surveillance camera footage shot from far away, and it's with a fisheye lens, and it's distorting the image. And according to the more than 20 stories that I read that describe the shooter, there are no other details that have been made public. None.
An attempted assassination of 2 young deputies. There was no dispute beforehand. There was no arrest.
Now, did you just see what Tucker just did? Tucker wants you to connect this story from Compton, California with another incident. One in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1,935 miles away. Tucker wants you to think of the Blake Floyd incident. An incident that happened in a different state. Also, Mr. Floyd, a black man, was shot, not the police. So far, the only connection between these 2 incidents is the one that Tucker just created by juxtaposing them in a sentence.
It's the kind of thing we refer to as a senseless crime, but it wasn't senseless. There was a reason he tried to kill them. He tried to kill them because they were cops.
Wow! Tucker knows what a person he doesn't know was thinking. Seriously, how does he do that? How does he know what a person he doesn't know knows? How does he know what a person was thinking when he doesn't know who the person is? You know how Tucker gets furious when some people on the left suggest that a police officer's motive for shooting an unarmed black man is that he shot him just because he's black? Meanwhile, Tucker says the cops were killed because they're cops. I invite you to explain down in the comments how those two things are different.
Since the beginning of summer, the Democratic Party has told us that the police are evil, that they're killers.
The Democratic Party told us that the police are evil and killers. The Democratic Party doesn't talk. People talk. And the reason that Tucker doesn't use the name of a person is because there are no leaders, Black Lives Matter, or responsible Democratic politicians saying that cops are evil and killers. Go ahead, seriously, look it up. What the Black Lives Matter movement is saying is that blacks are being targeted by police unfairly, and they want it to stop. That's it. Are there some people who live in the United States who think that cops are evil and are killers? I assume that there are. Sure. Do some of those assholes vote for Democratic candidates? Again, I'm sure that some of them do. But the people who support killing cops are no more Democrats than, say, school shooters and mad bombers are Republicans.
Now, Black Lives Matter has told this man that police officers deserve to die because they're subhuman.
No surprise. That is not the message of Black Lives Matter. No reasonable civil rights leader advocates cop killing. In fact, I checked the Black Lives Matter website. There is nothing about cops being subhuman. In fact, here's what Black Lives Matter says that they stand for: imagining and creating a world free of anti-blackness, where every black person has the social, economic, and political power to thrive. In fact, I was only able to find 3 references to members of one group calling members of a different group subhuman. The first was by then Sheriff of Milwaukee, David Clark, who's black, who said of the Black Lives Matter protesters in 2015, then the police can show up and arrest these subhuman creeps for creating a disturbance. More recently, in June of 2020, a white police chief in Detroit was suspended for 30 days for calling Black Lives Matter protesters subhuman. In fact, there is only one reference to a member of Black Lives Matter using the word subhuman, and it's used to describe white people. It was said by Yusra Kagali, the founder of the Black Lives Matter chapter in Toronto, Canada, and she said it in 2016 in Canada. All right, that's it for this episode of Be Less Stupid. Thanks for checking it out. It was kind of an experiment. Maybe I'll make it better. I don't know. But anyway, it's fun fact checking Tucker Carlson, who is a huge, oh my God, an unbelievable douche. Okay, remember to subscribe to the channel, and also check me out on TikTok at Be Less Stupid. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.